Thanks for joining us for part 2 of our Venom documentary. If you missed part 1, I do encourage you to watch that, as the auditions were a fascinating experience. The Venom synopsis. 2 lives intertwine when a respected psychiatrist crosses paths with a disturbed patient. After sharing a few drinks in a bar one night, both agree to meet the following week for a therapy session. What follows is a psychological mind game with a chilling conclusion.
Read like 2/3 of the way and then put the script down, because that's where it's about to get confusing. And try to see what you guys think, where you think it might go from there.
So it won't be confusing for the first 2/3 then.
This outdoor footage is from one of our first table talk sessions and rehearsals, and the indoor footage is from our very first read-through before Lane and Eric even knew the twist of the story. After casting the film, I was in the middle of shooting a short comedy, and during this time, the Venom cast and crew would meet regularly to get familiar with the script, talk about the characters, and discuss various elements of the story. This was a very crucial and beneficial time because it gave us opportunities to work out subtle nuances and details long before we would begin shooting. Most of the main dialogue, all the office scenes, didn't film until the fall of 2003, so we had most of the summer to fine-tune everything and also give the actors plenty of time to work on memorization and characterization.
Maybe it does let you find something about yourself that you do have the capacity to kill if you were forced to, or back into a corner. From there you're becoming obsessed.
Okay.
Anyway, works back into the second section of this session, and probably a good 20 minutes, maybe a half hour has gone by, but I'd say at least 20 minutes of getting increasingly agitated.
Okay.
All right. Let's discuss your childhood.
Put the clipboard down.
Why?
It makes me uncomfortable. Just put it down.
Why does it make you uncomfortable?
Why do you ask so many stupid questions?
Sorry.
And quit apologizing. When you're holding that thing, it's like you're...
This will be a little bit more of a moment there. Almost every time one says I'm sorry, they usually say don't apologize to me. Or how dare you try to apologize now, or what have you. That'd be a place where, why do you ask so many stupid questions? I'm sorry, and quit apologizing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then just catching yourself halfway, and then just a little bit more of a moment there, and then going on.
I'm just another specimen for you to study. You sit there with this pretentious look on your face.
I just can't. I cannot get in that. Because he's got his energy level up.
Yeah.
Is that something that makes you...
Crap, I missed the timing.
I don't see that line in here.
Crap, I missed the timing.
Crikey!
Yeah.
You think I want to be this way? I didn't.
Sense.
I didn't. She's not the only victim. I'm a victim.
Who are you talking about? Your mother? I have had enough of your destructive behavior.
I don't need you to define me. You think you're so superior because of what you do for a living. You look for any opportunity to shove your profession in people's faces. It's nothing but a sick game that allows you to feed the world your so-called knowledge. Well, your knowledge isn't good enough. You only want to control people. I know you don't believe that, but it's true. The control, the power you desire over people is sickening. Who do you think you are, Philip? I don't need you to define me. You think my behavior is destructive? Huh?
When he knocks the Coke cans and the crackers go flying.
Get away from me!
Damon, look at me. We are at an impasse until we can mutually respect each other as doctor and patient. We're just gonna sit back down and pretend that none of this ever happened.
Finally gets up.
Let's talk about my mother.
Cleans everything up. Bad's got it. Venom, the comedy version.
The engines can't go no more, Captain. Well, I'm making exception in this case, so help me relax. Are you sure you don't want something?
Yes, I'm sure.
Might calm you down. You seem to have an overwhelming fear of exposing the issues you're dealing with. Do you feel comfortable sharing anything with me?
I'm scared. I'm afraid I'll do something like that again. That's why I'm here. I need you. I want your help.
It's because you're sitting sitting here telling him all this stuff that I
Comments.
just thought it was ironic reading the script.
It
because
is
like,
ironic.
For the person who doesn't. Food for thought, Doctor.
I think we need to end our session.
Do you?
Yes.
Is there a problem? I've said too much. I've disturbed you.
That's not it.
You're uncomfortable with what I'm saying because it's true.
Damon, listen to me. Do you actually consider your behavior normal?
I don't know.
It was a rhetorical question. One of those obligations is you keep everything we discuss confidential. The solution, Damon, is much simpler than you think.
And scene. Put it out, put it out, put it out.
It's like taking one of those SRA tests.
Drop pencils down, boys and girls. Pencils down.
Papers to the front.
Any perceptions of what's going on? I'm just curious.
Well,
I'm very curious.
They use the same words against each other.
Exactly.
Over and over. What I've said, he will throw back at me, and what he said, I throw back at him.
Exactly.
In this kind of swirling, almost funneling kind of situation that, slowly, and then finally it's going to go down a drain, and something big's going to happen.
Very, very good observation. The dialogue mirrors each other, and the tone really shifts. Does that come across?
Yeah, he starts out the angry person, and I'm just kind of calm. And then at the end, I'm, in my interpretation, the one that's worked up and really enraged about stuff.
Who is actually in control, and who thinks they're in control, and who wants the other person to think that they are in control, or do they want that person to think that the other one's in? It's just this big mind game, like he says, the chess game. Your move, my move, your move, my move, your move, my move. What's going to happen next?
This is so hard
Well,
to not say anything.
Okay,
Sorry.
here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, for the secret behind Venom that everybody's been dying to know.
For 7 years, I had never told anyone what's really happening in this story. It was a very, very well-kept secret.
Dun dun dun.
This is the moment that Venom really took off. I was finally able to talk in depth about the concept of this film and why various details would have only been detrimental to every person who auditioned for this. Not only for the integrity of keeping the twist under wraps, but our two lead actors both agreed that if they had known what I was revealing to them on this day back at the auditions, it would have only hurt their interpretation as well as their performance. They had a lot of really good questions for me, but I also had lots of questions for them. I wanted to find these moments together and ask for their input on what they think would be the most effective in terms of how we would attack various details, but also in discussing how we think those moments would be received by an audience.
Yeah, there's just a lot of places we'll have to kind of discover what works the best.
Up until I tried to convince myself that it didn't really happen.
I knew this would freak you out.
Well, I kept going back and forth for a little bit, but now I'm
What are
convinced.
you trying to do? Drown your sorrows?
He's like, no, I don't.
You'd be surprised. Sometimes I wonder why some people are even on the planet.
Well, I'm not a puppet, Damon. But I'm glad our paths crossed that night.
Me too.
The only crowd scene in Venom takes place in a bar when Damon and Philip first meet. This was filmed at the Belle Isle Brewery in Oklahoma City with a very energetic and enthusiastic group of extras.
What are you trying to do? Drown your sorrows?
Something like that.
Having a rough week?
You could say that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I guess we were both trying to clear our heads.
Good observation.
What were you trying to forget?
I suppose I could ask you the same question.
That actually would be a really good way to lead into that.
We might make a reference like I make later that says, well, I help a lot of people. Like where I say something like people come here because they need help.
We're all products of our own past. Every experience we go through shapes us in one way or another.
I don't expect you to understand that.
People are judged by their actions, not by their motives or intentions.
Seeing this project grow from being just an audition monologue I wrote into becoming an award-winning play as well as an award-winning film was an incredibly humbling experience. And that was one of the most critical lines of the entire screenplay, when Damon says, "People are judged by their actions, not by their motives or intentions." It plays on many, many levels, both in this story as well as real life.
So, where would you like to begin?
You said that already.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
When?
Before. You said the exact same thing. That's the way we started.
How do you remember that?
I have a good memory for detail. You said, "So, where would you like to begin?"
Also, be sure to post a comment on this social media thread if you want to be given a private link to be able to view the full film later on. And our documentary will continue with part 3 next week.